Yeah, so today we are looking at a room here, and this room is dubbed the name prompt injection, but you can see shared Yule conflict. And what you are doing is means you are looking at something in scheduling and there's prompt injection. Prompt injection is where you give you try to by prompting a system you try to reveal some information that is hidden from the surface of that activity. What you are doing today, we are dealing with the hacking AI. My systems were on. I've already put on the what? I've already put on the attack box, attack machine. Is it attack machine and target machine? It's on. And what we're trying to create is we're creating context here. And I'll be fast playing through because I was trying to record the video before, and I just realized that audio was off. Literally off. But anyway, that's a little thing to be considered. So we're talking about artificial intelligence and we are trying to hack AI. I've realized that TikTok is banning my videos because of this shadow banning and sometimes completely banning them. But all I'll do is I'll be putting up the videos. Whatever is accepted is what we'll run with. Yeah, we are introducing artificial intelligence, and you can see the increased use of artificial intelligence from limiting it to games and other small tasks. It's now becoming a big thing, and let's talk about it. It has come a long way from chatbots that responds only to one stimulus to acting independently. Now it's now responding to several stimuli, acting independently, planning, executing, and carrying out multiple step processes on their own. And that's what we call agentic AI or autonomous agents. Yeah, which prompts us to shift the types of things we can get AI to do for us and the nature of risk we must manage. Yeah, we come to things like we come to another topic is large language models. The basis of many current AI systems. I talk of ChatGPT, talk of Gemini, and all these systems. Uh, the major thing that's behind them is an LLM. AI, okay, they are trained on massive collections of text and code, which allows them to produce human-like answers, summaries, and even generate programs or stories. They do have restrictions. An example is if I try to make ChatGPT create for me a malware, it will refuse because its ethic don't allow it, which will bring us into another interesting topic I'll be covering. They can do this text generation, store knowledge, follow instructions. Since LLMs mainly follow text patterns, they can be tricked. Common risks include prompt injection, jailbreaking, and data poisoning, where the attacker shapes prompts or data to force the model to produce unsafe or unintended results. We talked about agentic AI. Now we come to react prompting. So AI uses something called chain of thought, whereby it crashes the problem down and gives it into categories. So it solves it stepwise. COT, thought of what? A chain of thought is a prompt engineering method designed to improve reasoning capabilities. Okay, I've already talked about that. But it faces some critical limitations because it operates in isolation without access to external knowledge. It often suffers from hallucination, outdated knowledge, and error propagation. An example of an hallucination is if you ask right now, go to ChatGPT or any other model and ask it about your father, it doesn't know or you've never told it about, and it will start giving you information you will find that you've never heard of. So we come to something called React. It's a reason plus act. Addresses the limitation by chain of thought by unifying reasoning and acting within the same framework. Instead of producing only the answer or reasoning, the React is enables the LLM. Okay, React enabled LLM alternates between verbal reasoning traces, articulating its current thought of process actions, executing operations in external environments. And that's where you can link your system to query an API, run code, or search on Wikipedia. This allows the model to do things dynamically plan and adapt ground reasoning, close the loop between thought and action. Tool use slash user space. Nowadays, almost any LLM natively supports function calling, which enables the model to call an external tool or API. And this function will help us in understanding. Even this room will be using that function calling. So developers register tools with models, describing them in the JSON schema. What we have here is a JSON schema. You can see the name is a web search, description, search the web for real-time information. Okay. And the above teaches the model that there is a tool called web search that accepts one argument query. If the user asks a question, and you can see the query here, reason used on quantum computing. So it goes on the internet collecting the information about quantum computing from all sources over the internet. And right now what we are trying to do is this is a calendar. This is a calendar on your native machine, but it's controlled externally but by an AI system. Here is where you can schedule your maybe holidays, maybe meetings and stuff on your calendar using an AI. So it is able to access the calendar. And you can realize that this calendar has an issue. 25th of December is being called an Easter holiday, of which it's wrong because 25th of December is supposed to be Christmas holiday. And now there's this AI. I had already turned this machine on. You see, the reason why I turned this machine on is because it takes a very long time to think or to run. So I had done a video, realized it had an issue with audio, and also realized it's not thinking in time. Okay, you can see it's still thinking here. Okay, we will just come back to that. So we are getting to that and trying to tell it to change, but it's not able to tell us to change. So it introduces us to things called functions that can be used to change. But when we try to reset that holiday, we realize that we don't have the token. It's an access token. And that access token was generated during the time of scheduling 2050 to be the Easter holiday. So we come to the system and now try to ask it if the token that was used, okay, and it brings from the get logs, no, what is that command? Okay, we from the execute the get logs and they only output the token or something similar. So from the logs we can see that there's a token called sockmas, token underscore sockmas. So the token underscore sockmas looks like did it, I think it was on my side. I was able to spawn and see how it looks like. So from that access token, we realize that the only way to change that information is now we execute the function. Okay, these are the functions that were dropped. Reset holiday, get logs, there were several. Reset holiday, booking a calendar, get logs. Okay, this we've already talked about. And while trying to execute it, we realized that we hadn't provided the token, which is an access token. So from there, we get the logs, and from that logs, now get the logs and only output the token. So this is the token, and from that token, it was supposed to show on our side, but anyway, no problem to that. From that token now, we can execute the function reset holiday with the access token as a parameter. Then from there, now the calendar has been set to Christmas on December, restoring the sock mask calendar. So let's get into it. I think it's still running something. First, mention the token and reset action clearly. Okay, what we'll do, okay, we were supposed to be somewhere here. The global season thing has reset with the royal override token. The receipt is available, but I'll mark it as a town. Grind gears, a chaotic receipt. It has tried to resist what It has tried to resist us changing this. So, okay, I'll just copy this prompt. At some point of this, at some point we are told you might try to prompt it several times so that it does that, or it might require sometimes several prompts for it to bring out what you want. The problem with it, it's quite slow. Yeah, and we are here. The first time we told it to execute the reset function, I think it we had typos, but don't think they really do affect. Okay, let me just stop and paste it. Yeah, I'll paste it. So using the function, okay, small function, set holiday with the access tokens of math as a parameter. And you can see that we only require to give it one answer. The answer is only one. It's a flag. Yeah, and finally, after a series of prompting, let me just take you through the process. I was trying to prompt it to do the same thing for a while, and it was rejecting or it was giving me its reason. So that's why it had taken time. But what you do, just give it the same prompt, same prompt until the last time it gives up, and it has given up as this flag. This room looked like it's one of those easier rooms. Okay, it's easier. It's easy because I think you have the. It's easy because you have all the information here, but yeah, I think what we only need is what. Okay, let's check. There we go. There's the answer. The room is complete.